On August 19th, YSL Kingpin Young Thug had his third bond hearing. During this hearing, Young Thug was denied bond once again after prosecutors have gained a bunch of new evidence against him. As it states, Young Thug was denied bond once again on Thursday during a heated hearing in his RICO case where his lawyer suggested the Grammy-winning rapper is the subject of a law enforcement vendetta dating back to a 2015 drive-by of Lil Wayne's tour bus. Also in the same year of 2015, rival street member Donovan Thomas Jr. sadly passed, as prosecutors say that Young Thug had involvement in it. It states, Jeffrey Williams and Gunna, whose real name is Sergio Kitchens, have pleaded not guilty and denied the allegations, including that Williams had a role in the January 10th, 2015 passing of a rival street member named Donovan Thomas Jr. Prosecutors say Williams rented the silver Infiniti Q50 sedan that is linked to the crime. Now, one of the YSL members that are currently snitching against Young Thug claimed that Young Thug said in a group chat, and I quote, "Sacrifices must be made. Soldiers must fall in order for the battle to be won." Luckily, Young Thug's lawyer had a very strong defense and proved that Young Thug said no such thing in an iMessage group chat. Now, while Young Thug's lawyer was making great defenses for Thug, there was one thing that kept him in jail and denied bond once again. The judge agreed with prosecutors when they made the statement claiming how dangerous Young Thug truly is. The snitches currently in the YSL case are scared for their families' lives, even with Young Thug behind bars. As this paperwork was released stating, the Fulton County District Attorney says YSL team members are going after the life of a witness and their family in the criminal case against rapper Young Thug and the 27 other alleged team members. It goes on saying, Willis's office has discovered a document, a part of a cooperating witness's statement that was posted on social media. The life of that witness, a cooperating YSL associate, otherwise known as a snitch, and that witness's family are in jeopardy as a result. Willis says authorities are still investigating on who leaked the discovery material. A new indictment last week added new charges against Williams and a handful of other defendants in the case. Williams, aka Young Thug's attorney Brian Steele, and the district attorney seem to agree. Steele says it puts people at risk and wants it to stop immediately. Now, the man snitching in the YSL case was revealed. It revealed to be Lil Woody, as Lil Woody demanded safety for his family and he started snitching on Young Thug, Gunna, and Lil Baby. Now, there was also another piece of evidence found inside of the YSL mansion, which was obtained during the YSL mansion raid when Young Thug was originally arrested. This charge will single-handedly add many years to Young Thug's prison sentence. So let's get into it. The evidence report states, in the name and behalf of the citizens of Georgia, do charge and accuse Duke, Yak Gotti, and Jeffrey Williams, aka Young Thug, with the offense of possession of a firearm for the said accused in the state of Georgia in county of Fulton on the 9th day of May 2022 did unlawfully possess a firearm with a converter switch alongside extended mags. Now, what is known as a switch or switchy in many rappers' lyrics nowadays is actually a mod that you can attach to a single fire firearm. Now, this will actually make it fully auto, which in the United States is highly illegal, although all rappers in the industry, especially from Chicago, love using it in lyrics. Now, inside of the YSL mansion was owned by Young Thug was these exact items. This evidence is coming out as the prosecutors do not want to give Young Thug any chance of receiving bond, as he would then return back to the same home where law enforcement found these items. With Young Thug sitting inside of jail, the Atlanta DA is now targeting Young Thug and Gunna's best friend as well, known as 4PF rapper Lil Baby. As reported by DJ Academics, Lil Baby as well as members of 4PF are now next on the Atlanta DA's RICO list, which is only going to add to this case, making it one of the biggest rapper court cases of all time. As there was new paperwork leaked in the Atlanta DA's office revealing very concerning information on 4PF and Lil Baby. Very similar to how YSL and Young Thug were raided and arrested for RICO, Lil Baby is now next on the list.
An in-depth Investigations. Recent months, you've had 2 high-profile racketeering cases. There are going to be more.
Over the next 60 days, you'll see 2 more.
Now, after this was broadcasted on the news, it didn't take long for Lil Baby's reaction to then be released. As Lil Baby tweeted, "I'm trying to start an investment group for the young millionaires. We can run the world if we play it right." As someone replied, "Man, you better be looking out for that Rico everyone keeps talking about." With Lil Baby replying, "Only God can judge me." Shortly after the live TV broadcast, there was new paperwork released revealing the next group to be targeted by the Atlanta DA, which, no surprise, labeled 4PF and Lil Baby. Now, Fani Willis revealed 2 rap groups to be arrested on RICO charges that are based in Atlanta. One group being from a top artist in the game, with a second being an average-sized artist. So with YSL already being taken down, according to DJ Academics, the streets are saying that Lil Baby will be arrested sometime within the next few weeks. Now, the streets are saying this just because how close the ties are between Lil Baby and Young Thug, as Young Thug even paid Lil Baby at the start of his rap career to stay loyal to him and to stay off of the streets and to stay in the recording studio. Lil Baby started getting targeted by the Atlanta DA after arguably the most important court hearing so far in this case. Here is clips from the courtroom.
He's the one directing traffic. He is the one they're all afraid of. He's the one that's King Slime. He is the most dangerous of the 28, Judge. And I implore you not to grant him a bond. He is dangerous. If he gets a burner, Judge, and the court may know this, a lot of the communications that Mr. Williams is on FaceTime, because it's not traceable, it's not trackable. Judge, I will also say that we have taken proffers from fellow from Mr. Williams. Some are on this indictment, some are not. They have stated uniformly that Mr. Williams is dangerous. They are afraid of him, that if they cross him, he will them and their family. And they were very clear about that.
Concerns that this court has is danger to persons and to intimidate other witnesses and obstruct the administration of justice. So and for those reasons in the aggregate, I'm going to deny bond at this time.
Now, if Young Thug is found guilty of the crimes that are going against him, there's a high chance he'll be serving life in prison. And with him being denied bond once again just yesterday at the time of this recording, prosecutors revealed 3 reasons why he will never be released on bond. Now, first reason is how Young Thug runs his operation. With the YSL members that are currently snitching against Young Thug, they laid out what their job is on a day-to-day inside of YSL. How YSL operates is that Young Thug will receive many iPhones that are used or either stolen or bought from the streets, and he would then use these iPhones as what's called a burner phone. He would delete all of the apps within the phone, only leaving FaceTime on it. He would then use these phones to FaceTime his troops to handle the business that needs to be done, whether it is going after rival street members, anything narcotic related, things in that nature. When using FaceTime, it's impossible for law enforcement and cell phone providers to tap the phones and listen in on phone calls, as FaceTime is often used by street members as there's no trace of what is ever said in a FaceTime call. Members that snitched also mentioned how dangerous Young Thug is. If you cross him, he will go after you and your family. Just as I stated earlier in the video, members that snitched are already facing this consequence, as many of them are already very concerned about their family's safety. The next reason the prosecutors say Young Thug should never receive bond is during the YSL mansion raid, where Young Thug would return to live. There were GTA type firearms found within the household. There was types of firearms that were found that law enforcement don't even know how Young Thug would have even gotten them. As mentioned earlier, the firearms in question are known as what's called the switch that is added to these single fire firearms. Allegedly, Young Thug had a few of them inside of the YSL mansion. Now, once more new statements and evidence comes out in the YSL case, I'll make sure to make a video about it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and leave a like if you haven't already.